Alright, so this video is about Rachel Zegler and her crash out and meltdown and ruined career and all of that. But I'm going to take a very different tack from everyone ganging up on her or the people who are stupid, bitchy feminists and glorified hoes and prostitutes for Disney and so on. I'm going to say I have pity on Rachel Zegler, but I'm also going to give some advice. And I'll just mention the advice. Earlier, around 2016, Shia LaBeouf did a stunt called He Will Not Divide Us. And 4chan, a place where you cannot find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy, basically started trolling him, and he reacted really negatively, and basically the 4chaners smelled blood in the water like a bunch of sharks and started going into a feeding frenzy. It got to the point that Shia LaBeouf was first he made a sort of live camera thing with a flag drooped over, and they started taking it down or something like that. And eventually it got to the point where he put a flag up with a camera viewing it on some sort of out-of-the-way, random wilderness area that he thought no one would be able to find, and 4chan found it. Total meltdown, total nervous breakdown, total crash out, all of it. Now, Shia LaBeouf talked with Bishop Robert Barron, with 2 R's in Barron. And I don't know what movies Shia LaBeouf has been in since his crash out, but he's been in at least one movie, and no one really minded that movie. It's about Padre Pio. I've yet to see it myself, but I'm interested in seeing it eventually. It might be a little hardcore for me and my taste generally, but I've seen The Mission, and that was really hardcore. So, when I'm feeling like watching a hardcore movie, I might watch Padre Pio or whatever. Shia LaBeouf's Padre Pio movie. Because there's not much that's actually as hardcore as Christianity when you get down to it. When you get to the true Christians and stuff like that. Honestly, it's pretty harrowing, and that's what Christianity descends into the depths of our souls through all its dirtiness and brokenness and corruption and so on. And that's what Christianity is all about, and bringing us out of it, basically. And that's why I would heavily suggest, if Rachel Zegler ever watches this video, that she go check out Shia LaBeouf, talk to Shia LaBeouf, and or talk to Bishop Robert Barron, and see if they can't bring some peace of mind and new ways of looking at things to alleviate the genuinely bad behavior that Rachel Zegler is doing, like Shia LaBeouf was doing, without necessarily putting all the blame on them, but allowing them to react to the stalking, death threats, trolls, constant hate posting, and the declaration she's hideous as hell, and all that stuff, to learn how to respond to it and why you respond that way, if you respond at all even, in a way that doesn't feed the trolls, so to speak, which is basically blood in the water, shark feeding frenzy stuff, basically. And the thing is, part of that transformation will be changing yourself from a jackass bitch, jackass for a man, bitch for a woman, equality, um, in your own way, into someone who's got peace of mind and radiates it to other people. So you're not hostile to everyone, you're not entitled, and so on, which is a common problem for Hollywood stars. Recognizing that Hollywood stars tend to be egotistical, narcissistic, and entitled is acknowledging a big part of the problem for yourself that will then enable you, with people like Shia LaBeouf or Bishop Robert Barron or some other priests that Bishop Barron can recommend just for people that are famous. Because Bishop Robert Barron is famous, and I'm sure he gets death threats and constant insults too, so he's got a little direct experience with this sort of thing and giving grace to people and so on. And grace means undeserved favor, basically, and so on. So, and mercy is basically undeserved, but we get it anyways from Jesus Christ, is kind of the attitude that we have as Christians. Well, no, that's literally the belief in Christianity. Talk to Bishop Barron, talk to Shia LaBeouf, and learn how to radiate goodness, truth, and beauty, not narcissism, prickery, and entitlement. And at the same time, how to radiate confidence in oneself, or at least confidence in Jesus Christ, who is for you, not against you, just like he's for the people attacking you, through our faults and failings, however small or large they may be, that contribute to making others hate us. And there is a Christian saying that will help along this path to some extent, which is, if the world hates you, take care, or not, take heart, because the world hated me first. Those who are in the world shall face trials, but fear not, for Jesus Christ has overcome the world. And learn from Jesus' example of not bragging about everything all the time and denigrating the past and so on, which is one of Rachel Zegler's specific problems. And I would advise maybe apologizing for saying you don't believe in true love, because people do find it. You might not have, but other people definitely have. So acknowledge that it's an area of lack of experience in your case and so on, but that other people have genuinely found it and they find very much a lot of value in it. But recognize also that we generally say as Christians, we find value in Jesus Christ, who loved us first, enabling us to love others. And that works for everyone, basically, according to Christianity. And if you're watching this, Rachel Zegler, which I really doubt you are, but in case you click on this or something like that, don't denigrate Jesus. Jesus took 120 whippings, with like a razor blade or like a dagger or like something like a barbed metal hook that tore his flesh from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet 120 times. He got a black eye, he got a broken nose, and he had nails rammed right through his hands and feet. And he got stabbed in the liver, which is one of the most painful ways to die as well, on top of all that. And his exact reason for going through all that was to pay for the wrongdoing of everyone. Not just a collective everyone minus some people. It's everyone. You, Rachel Zegler, me, Hitler, Stalin, Pol Pot, Genghis Khan, Caesar, Napoleon, the guy who betrayed Jesus, Judas. He might have even done it for Satan, the devil. Right? Like, that's who Jesus did it for, basically. Now, maybe not the devil, but you know what I mean. Like I've never been told he didn't do it for the devil. You know. But you know, other than the devil, like the literal Satan devil, Jesus did it for literally everyone as themselves individually, not just a collective group that you call everyone and exclude some people and say, well, it's like everyone, but it's not literally everyone. It's not like everyone as one group. It's literally everyone as individuals. Talk to Bishop Barron about this stuff if you can contact him and so on. It'll do you a world of good. And look at Shia LaBeouf and maybe try and contact him and see what he has to say for advice and so on and so on. Because he's been through similar things to you, basically. And he came out the other side after talking to Bishop Robert Barron. Robert Barron with 2 R's, not Robber Barron, which is a 1900s or 1800s sort of neoliberal or some sort of scheming, mischievous rich guy whose unfair business practices of taking over other people's business by force or stealth and sneakiness and cheating their way through taking over other people's land and business and so on. Robert Barron with 2 R's in Barron. Bishop as well. Bishop Robert Barron and Shia LaBeouf. If you can contact them and you can learn what they have to say and take it to heart and so on, you can come out the other side just fine, I bet. You might not be able to get a lot of Hollywood film production things as a Christian, but you'll find a lot more peace of mind and you'll be able to react or not react specifically to the trolls and the threats and the stalkers and everyone else. You will begin to become stronger, and that strength will make people respect you. But it's not just strength in the sense of like, I'm tougher than you and can beat you up. It's character strength, strength of character. It's not, I'm going to punch you if you don't leave me alone. It's, you become a better person. Because I'm not going to lie, you're kind of awful right now, and you're suffering because of it. It's a lot of your own fault, and it's a lot of other people's faults for being jackasses and being cruel and malicious and sadistic. But it's your fault for bringing everyone's anger on you in the first place, so that the law of averages says people see you as a valid target and so on. If you didn't act like a bitch, then people would defend you way more against those types, and you wouldn't see as many of those messages and so on. But the fact is, you were kind of a bitch, and that means all the people that would defend you from those malicious people aren't there for you because they gave up on you. But talk to Bishop Robert Barron and talk to Shia LaBeouf, and you can probably turn it around. And you might not get as many movies as a Hollywood person, as a Christian in Hollywood, but you could find peace of mind. You could find a reputation salvaging. You could have a redemption arc of your story, life path, and so on. And this video is basically in case, on like the 1 out of 10 billion chance she watches this video, to do so. And I can speak from experience. I've done some really stupid things that are kind of mean-spirited and stuff like that myself. Or very immoral and so on. And what I found personally as well is that the church brought me peace. Now, I've studied from multiple disciplines, and I don't think a Hollywood type would appreciate most of them. and so on. But I've had a real change in character and morals and foundation of my ethical vision of how to behave for myself and so on, and more motivation to behave well, according to anyone, basically. But yeah, yeah. So Shia LaBeouf, Bishop Robert Barron for Rachel Zegler, and listen and learn from them. And if you watch this video, basically that's my only advice. And that's the and like I get it. It's your fault a little bit. It's their fault for being sadistic, but it's your fault for driving everyone that would defend you away from you by being a bitch. So it's like you're where you're at now, and I'm not saying it's like you're doomed forever, and because it's your fault, it's gotten this bad right now, at least a little bit, and it's other people's fault as well. That you're just gonna be stuck, miserable, and so on. What I'm saying is, you recognize that you brought yourself part of the way to this situation. Other people carried you the rest of the distance, and now you have to walk all the way back from where you are now to where you started, and then walk in the other direction towards the positive, basically. And Bishop Robert Barron and Shia LaBeouf can help you do that.